Hey everyone, welcome back to the Living on Lemonade podcast. As always, I'm your host Lauren, doing a late night recording session before the episode goes out tomorrow. Um, yeah, just been a busy day. We moved my granny stuff out of her room because she's in the hospital, and if she is able to recover and move out, like go into, you know, back to a home, she needs extra care. So, anyway, busy day over here. I'm happy to be sitting down and kind of winding down and sharing what I was thinking about earlier. I had a bit of kind of an aha moment. And yeah, I wanted to share it with you. I've been talking a lot about intention setting on social media, in my email list, and even a little bit on the podcast too, with the workshop coming up on Wednesday. So it's Wednesday, January 22nd. It's at 7 p.m. live on Facebook. Normally, when I do trainings, I just go live on, or sorry, live in Zoom. I think I said live on Facebook. That's not true. Live in Zoom. Normally, I go live on Facebook and it's just kind of me talking and delivering information for the free trainings. This one's a workshop, it is paid. We're all jumping into Zoom together. I will deliver the training and then stop recording. And then we'll have a bit of a chat afterwards for anyone who wants to stick around. And we kind of help to solidify it a little bit. And then the replay will be sent out to those who registered. It's 33 Canadian. If you're interested, let me know. It's going to be great. I'm really excited for this. And just like a totally different vibe than your traditional goal setting and stuff. I don't want to get too into that because I was talking about it before, but on that note, like kind of going down that road, obviously I've been thinking a lot about it and my own intentions, my own goals for the year, and how not only just thinking about it, but how am I living into these intentions? Because that's the whole point, right? You have to embody them and it just becomes part of your lifestyle. And it's a way to be curious and kind of conscious in your own life. And I became aware on a deeper level to one of the things that holds me back in doing not only, excuse me, not only all the things that I really kind of just need to do to keep up with things, but also it impedes on my own like creativity and the things that I really like I want to work on and I end up getting in my own way. So here's I'm going to talk you through it. This is just an example of how we do this work that I'll be teaching on Wednesday, and just to kind of like show you what it can look like when we start to awaken to some of these things, and we start to see where we're holding ourselves back, and we start to make more conscious choices like in the moment. So, as you may or may not know, I love sleeping. I love, love, love sleeping. I can nap and sleep like anywhere, any place, any time of day. And I love sleeping. One of my favorite forms of self-care, probably the most favorite, is being able to go to sleep and not have an alarm set and just be able to sleep in. I've done it all my life. It's my favorite thing. Here's where it gets tricky. What I've realized over the last while is I end up oversleeping. So I get my full, because you're supposed to get like 8 to 10 hours as adults. I think women need a little bit more sleep from what I was when I was researching, and I did a whole free class on sleep. So you can find that. There's a podcast episode or in the Living on Lemonade Facebook community. It'll be in the guides. Anyway, I get like 9, 10. Sometimes I'm in bed even longer than that. The problem is I get like a full night's sleep and then I still feel tired because when you like sleep too much and then it just makes you feel tired. And so today I went to bed late because I'd come off nights yesterday, and Eric was at a thing, so I had the house to myself. I was working on a quilt. I got a little bit frustrated with it, and just like anyway, it's a something different than what I normally do, and I was just having a hard time like conceptualizing and figuring out how I was going to make it work. So I decided after a while, it was getting late too, right? Your brain kind of gets tired. So I decided we're done with the quilt tonight. We'll, put fresh eyes on it whenever I get a chance next, which wasn't during the day today because we were moving Granny stuff out. But um, what ended up happening, well, actually, it could have been today. So this is why it wasn't one of the reasons. I went to bed at like 2. I stayed up, I watched a movie because I think I've already talked about how I've been going through my DVDs, reading books, and getting rid of stuff. So I was like, oh, I'll just watch a movie. I had started one and then um, I wanted to finish it. So it was a late night. And when I finally kind of went to bed, because sometimes when I come off nights, it's a little harder to get to sleep at a good time. And anyway, it's just easy to stay up. So I did. Got my full 9 hours. I get up, kind of moving around. I'm deciding like how's it planning out the day a little bit. See how I feel. What kinds of things do I want to tackle today based on my energy level? Obviously, there's things that like I need to do. I need to do laundry and a couple of things. We had to go down to Granny's. And what am I doing before we leave so that I have a few things kind of taken care of in case we don't get back till late, etc. I was hoping to do the podcast, didn't happen, so I'm doing it tonight. But I was like, I'll start laundry. I also wanted to go for a walk because I just haven't had as much movement lately. So it's something I've been kind of prioritizing and being mindful of when I don't, so that I can build into my day more. But I've just had other kind of things that have taken priority, and that's my choice. So it was like, I'll put some laundry in, go for a walk while it's in, then flip it, this and that. So I was trying to figure that out. I'm sitting down and I decided, oh, I'm hungry first. So I don't want to go for my walk and then eat. I'm already hungry, so I'm gonna make my protein shake. So made my protein shake. I ended up getting like distracted by a couple things. It was productive, but sometimes I think I have a little bit of like ADD or something. I don't know. Anyway, I get kind of like squirrel, and so I was kind of working on things. And even before I really got into it, I just thought, I'll just have a little quiet time with my protein shake. It's really cold when I first mix it up because it's got ice in it and stuff, so I can't really like down it or I'll get a brain freeze. But I was just kind of sitting there quietly and I realized, and this is the moment. I realized really quickly, as soon as I like sat down and got comfy, I was like, man, I'm like ready for a nap. And I think I'd been up like a half hour. And I thought, well, I mean, I could go nap. I'm tired. I was tired enough, like I could have laid down and fallen asleep right away. And I had just gotten up after like a full night's sleep. So that to me is kind of an indication you've overslept. Like if you've overslept that you're still tired after like 9 or 10 hours, and then you want to lay down immediately and have another nap, like that's anyway. So that was kind of the first level of awareness. And then I'm almost debating. I not almost. I was debating kind of like, well, do I just not do a few of these things and like have a nap instead? I'm just kind of lazy. And at that point, we didn't have like concrete plans on what we were doing, if we were going to go see my grandma first and then do the furniture, or kind of that timeline. So I was just like, oh, things are kind of flexible, things aren't really figured out. But then I had a moment, and it was I kind of got curious, and I thought like I'm gonna explore this because I know that I shouldn't like I if I've had a good night's sleep, I shouldn't feel tired right away. I shouldn't want to nap um this soon after. And like I do have things to do, and there's things that I want to do. I wanted to work on that quilt again. I wanted to problem solve the layout of it and just like have it figured out, even if I wasn't able to actually like really work on it and put the pieces together. I at least wanted to have the layout done. So I thought to myself, like, am I about to just self-sabotage again? And this is like my crux because I love sleeping, but then I use it to, I don't know, escape. It is a form of escapism, and I'm being totally honest with myself, and there's no ju I'm not judging myself for it. But it is one of my coping things when I'm going through a difficult time, be it grief or just life transition, I tend to sleep more. So it's one of those things I've been aware of for a long time that I have to kind of check in with myself on, because if I don't kind of manage it, it's a slippery slope, right? So I had that moment of, am I going to allow myself to continue that pattern? Like, is it really, the question was like, is this for the greatest good of the day and what I want to accomplish and the things that I am pulled towards? Is this stronger than the things that I want to do? And even more so, oh, I just had it and it just left. It's late, right? So my brain's kind of like getting, it's wanting bedtime soon. I had to just kind of be honest with myself and ask myself some questions. Oh, here it is. The question I asked myself was, what would happen if you didn't go to sleep, you didn't nap, you chose not to satisfy that urge, and instead went and moved your body and fulfilled some of the things that you actually want to accomplish today? The laundry is always a should, right? Because like, who really wants to do laundry? But it's those things you have to do. So it's just a, you just build it into your day. It's I'm not like spending time getting upset about it or anything. But I got curious as to, what if I like went against my normal behavior? Like, what would happen? Because I don't, unless there's something like I have to do and I just have to push through, and I'll go get like an ice cap or something to get some caffeine in me or whatever. Have like a fizz by Arbonne. Um, it was like, the only way that we can really embody these changes that we want to make and fulfill these intentions that we're setting for ourselves is to show up as the person who, like, that's their lifestyle, that's how they operate. And if we, like when we're setting these intentions and these goals, if we already were that person, they wouldn't, we'd already be doing those things, right? So th it's one of those things you have to look at when you want to have a bigger life, or like whatever that looks like for you, whatever intentions and goals you set, you have to change too. You have to change with it. You have to build yourself so that what you're striving for, what you're moving forward to, just becomes, you just immerse yourself in it. So I decided to try it, and I bundled up. I went for a walk. It wasn't my full hour because it was kind of where we decided then to move the furniture, and we wanted to do it before dark. So it's like I don't have time really to go for an hour walk, but I'll go check mail. It's a half-hour walk there and back to go to the post office and check our mail. So I thought, okay, this is my test. I'm gonna go check mail. I'm gonna come home, switch the laundry really quickly, put everything in the dryer so it can be drying while we're heading down to my grandma's, have a quick shower, and be ready for the day, like for what's next. What I noticed when I got back and got into the shower, I was like, okay, so I checked in with myself, like, how do you feel now after, instead of laying down and getting more sleep after having like 9 hours or more? How do you feel? And I was like, well, I'm a little tired. Like I could probably lay down and like wind down and have a nap, but I don't feel this like big urge. I'm just so tired right now. I could lay down and close my eyes and be asleep in 2 minutes. So that was encouraging. And then realistically, we went about our day. We had to move a bunch of furniture and stuff, and I had the energy to do it. I had the energy to lift things, and we didn't have to do a lot because we had like a trolley thing, but I had enough energy to go about the rest of my day and knock some of the things off my to-do list, spend some quality time with my mom. We had dinner together, and come home and I've got enough energy to do a podcast. So the moral of the story is, when you're setting these goals and intentions for yourself, and you have to take a step back, and this is one of the things we'll talk about in the workshop, but you have to kind of review and just get really honest with what your patterns and kind of what you lean into when things are more difficult. And if you're leaning into those things kind of in regular life too, the way that I almost did today, is it really serving your highest good? And if not, how are you going to shift out of that? How are you going to get curious in those present moments? Like in the present moment, I had to be like, hey, hold on. I had to pick out and be aware of that pattern and then get curious about it and reflect on it and decide, make a choice. Am I going to continue down this road I've always gone down, or am I going to try something new and see how it goes and shift that to where I actually want to go? We have to be able to separate ourselves kind of emotionally from it and view it as if we're looking down on it from above as just like this situation, this is what it is. What we have to assess, like, what am I looking at here? What do I want for myself? And what do I need to do differently in order to create a reality that it makes it possible, what I want possible, right? What are the behaviors that are holding me back, and what better suits where I want to go next? Yeah, so today was just an interesting practice of doing this work, and because I also noticed within the last couple days that it's like, man, shift work is difficult in itself. But then I do this thing where I just like sleep too much and then I really just like don't get anything done. I have days off. Oftentimes I'm here, there, and everywhere, right? I have responsibilities with my family and checking in on Granny and this and that and the other thing. But then I have some quiet days at home. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna like do some quilting and work at this and work at that and just nourishing things, just things to kind of pick away at. My to-do list over the last couple winters has been very important to me because it's like that quiet time when I can just like be at home more and just be focusing on going through things, finishing projects, getting rid of things, and yeah, just being more of a homebody, and I've been really appreciating it. So my winter to-do list is very like it's become kind of sacred and I look forward to it. Um and with the sleeping pattern, I end up just I don't get anything done in the day. Or I get like maybe a couple things, but I'm like, man, I didn't even like turn on my sewing machine. I didn't cut any fabric. I didn't do these things that I actually really wanted to do. It's not even just like the shoulds. It's like these are because I have, we have long lists and it's like what can I pick out today? What feels good that would um you know, feel good to do. And I end up sleeping it away and just like being kind of a zombie. So I am hoping this is kind of a new leaf that when I pick up on this pattern, I go, wait a second, I recognize it. And then I have that honest little conversation with myself and choose a different route. So, especially after if I've had it's one thing if like you didn't get enough sleep and you need some more sleep. Yeah, go have a nap. But for me, it's like, man, I had 9 hours sleep. Like, I'm good for sure. And I just proved it to myself today because I had lots of energy to do what I needed to do. I just needed to get my butt moving, move my body, get some fresh air, and just go about my day. So it's I'm celebrating it. So I hope there's something to take away from that for you. I invite you to get curious about what is holding you back from doing and being who you want to be and catching yourself, catching those patterns in the moment, being mindful of it and having a bit of a dialogue and get curious about it in those moments and having the ability to make the conscious choice whether you're going to continue down that same path with that pattern or whether you're going to shift it and just do an experiment. Try the new thing, see how it goes. If it doesn't work, then try something else, right? But it did work for me, so I'm excited about it and knowing that I have a new tool in my in my tool belt. If I've got enough sleep and I'm still tired, get my butt going and do some things and I'll feel really great about it after. So, all right, friends, I'm gonna finish this episode. I hope everyone's doing well. And if I don't see you on Wednesday for the workshop, I'll see you around the socials and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.